Showing switch. It's vital, and he's too strong with it, but fights for the rebound. Misses the second attempt.
That's his game, too. Now, they got to attack the rim. There's no deterrent at the rim defensively.
Mitchell. And he hits the jumper right over a... Now Suggs with the 2 fouls, going to back off and go down low and look after Thamba.
Teague's going to take him. This is the mismatch he wants.
Teague takes the shot.
How about this?
First assist for Suggs. He's got 2 turnovers and missed his 2 shots with 2 fouls to boot.
Such good finishes at the rim. Look at his shot.
Wow, you said he could float.
Down the Bears there in the first half.
There's Teague stepping away, getting the shot.
Nice rebound, Thamba.
Thamba got it blocked. Kicks it back over to Teague. Teague backing in on Suggs, who has those 2 fouls in the first half. Now Mitchell. 5 to shoot. Butler.
Oh my good situation. Screen roll. Find the big.
Of course, for Gonzaga, Raph, they have to figure out how to defend this high screen roll. The Bears have just picked it apart offensively. Here it comes.
There you go. Teague was waiting for it to develop. Wasn't there. Now challenges. Puts it up. Oh, what a shot. This is a team that had a 3-week break because of COVID during the season. A lot of folks thought they could have been undefeated if they hadn't had the break.
Came back, didn't play well against KU. A lot of people do.
They'll start over, basically, as Mitchell banks it home.
They found their
fast breaks if you rebound.
4 to shoot. Slides off the rim and is chased down by Teague.
You mentioned on the open the ability of the 3 guys on the perimeter. They are sensational with their own ability. Dribble, drive, find, or finish. Great with floaters, this team.
Teague with Grimes on. Now here's Mitchell. That matchup, Sasser defensively. And Mitchell hits a 3 as well. Fouls.
Look at this help by Big Jonathan.
White can shoot it. Not this one.
He does have a nice rotation. Once again, they put pressure on your defensive transition.
Myers not just a shooter. He can put it on the floor and get to the cup.
And he also can pass, too.
Driving on White.
How about that? Good call, Grant.
Coach Scott Drew, who they say saved the program.
They sure did.
Those old members of the 1950 Baylor Final Four team. They're second of 2. They went to 48, made it to the finals. They went to Final Four again in 50.
Scott Drew, one of the great rebuilding projects in all of college basketball.
Maybe the best of all time, really.
Absolutely.
Think about it.
Resurrected the program.
No question.
He's in ashes. Look at
2
this.
to shoot, Mitchell. A first basket by the Cougars in 6 minutes. Last shot.
Now they're going to test the ball screen, I think. You got to be honest and guard the 3.
Now with 5. Mitchell wants another 3, and he finds it.
Not quite like Nolan yet, but they get fired up.
The old 40 minutes of hell days is what they called it back in the day of Coach Richardson.
That's what Grant said working with me was like. Nice pull up. Oh, yes. He is cut or dribble exchange.
So Eric Musselman, just his 2nd year in Fayetteville, and has he done a fantastic job in the corner.
Vital, not really a scorer, an offensive rebounder. You can help out off him if he's open in the corner.
Plays some major defense, too. Here's Teague again. Off the glass, and he's got 5 already.
I'm pronouncing his name, but...
Hits the floor, does Davis, and shoots long with the shot. Bears.
Individual skills of these guards. Overdrive, back it off, push it forward.
Well, because they're such a great shooting team, though, they have the driving lanes.
There's Butler. The play. It did.
You can't hurt that kid, by the way. He is a tank.
Would have been huge had it gone the other way.
Absolutely. 4 would ruin their rotation. Scott alluded to with Tracy. Little ball screen, and then they go individual skill.
Teague Flips it up and hits it.
He found his offensive skills really impressive of late.
8 on the night for Davis. There's that first step again, and he's rewarded.
Bad with the bounce either. A little jump hook in the lane. He just wants to run the show. Keep your distance.
Anderson coming off the bench. Fine. The bend on him. Almost impossible.
How about
Moore with the miss. 4-point Baylor lead. Bears with 11 boards or +3 in rebounds. Jared Butler. Got it. Sweet stroke.
But also some of the finishes, you know, getting inside by Baylor are not as clean.
Shot clock down to 5. Flagler got to go here, and Flagler scores. Turnovers for Nova in the second half. And there's Mitchell again, another defensive stand. Baylor by 4 with the ball. The defense has allowed them to take the lead here as Meyer with a spin. Meyer, oh, what a finish!
But in some aspects, he was right on time, able to get that block.
Scott Drew talked about Baylor. They really didn't look like themselves defensively coming out of all the COVID problems they had until the NCAA tournament, and maybe really until the Wisconsin game here on this floor. They're in all their glory right now. And another. Bears have just one made 3 in this second half. That was Flagler, who has 2 of the 3 makes. Baylor sitting here 3 for 18 from 3-point range, just 1 for 6. But Nova has a donut right now in the second half.
Good teams figure out ways to win when part of their offense not going, BA.
Late clock, pull up this time. Mitchell, smooth.
8 completes the 3-point play. Bench scoring basically the same. We got ourselves a 7-point game. Look at the drive right here by Teague.
Enough. I like what I think Oklahoma State's done tonight, and that is mix up the defenses. This kid's so good. I wouldn't want Cade Cunningham to get in foul trouble if I were Mike Boynton. There's that zone again. They're pushing out on the shooters.
Davion Mitchell. Yes. Meyer tied up down the lane. Forced one up. It won't go. Offensive rebound for Teague. Davion Mitchell explodes and banks one in.
It was a good strategic timeout by Bruce Weber. Can Kansas State keep scoring? That's the question.
Nigel Pack has made 4 threes. He had 5 last night against GCU. This is locked down to 9.
Yeah, outstanding defense.
Davion Mitchell explodes to the goal. What?
No legs. Came up short. Good look.
MaCio Teague. Again, the shot clock winding down. Weaving. Off glass. He does it again. Texas Tech. As Kyler Edwards is able to knock one down.
He's a veteran player. You know, he played in a championship game against Virginia. Did well in that game. And he's a guy that's now picked it up. And they need him, especially going to tournament action. He and Shannon have committed. What a great drive. What a great drive for this play. What do you reward greatness all year? In the case of Drake, they're playing without their star scorer and rebounder, kid named Hempel. And I'll tell you this, they say he's going to come back for the tournament. So I hope the committee looks at that. Derek Butler, what a great career he's had.
Davion Mitchell at the elbow. That rolls around and falls through. The 13th rebound for Mark Vital.
He's having a great game on senior night. Plus we saw the hustle plays. I mean, his hustle plays today that led to three great opportunities for the team, and they scored. Just unbelievable. Good spacing right here. They're well coached, man. They're well coached.
Cruising to the goal, and he's
in the corner. That would have been big for Oklahoma State in the final minute plus in the first half.
And one of the few times that Baylor didn't get back with a sense of purpose in transition.
When we miss shots today, let's miss long and not short. They missed an awful lot of shots because of their legs. And Bob, one last thing. No offense to Kansas, they're playing great, but every team in this league that's going to the NCAA tournament would have beaten Baylor on Saturday night, in my opinion. That's how poorly they played. And this is a drive and kick offense.
There's the drive.
About who they are is unique.
Culver, double team, hit the side of the backboard, and Mark Vital is able to pull it down.
We know Baylor's got a good backcourt. There's that speed. Look at that right there.
That does this kind of job for each team in the Big 12. Certainly the good ones.
Oh, totally agree. Christian Brown at Kansas. I love his energy. Harkless at Oklahoma. Brock Cunningham at Texas. I agree. Only a sophomore. We're watching that maturation into an all-league player.
A little sloppy down the lane, but recovering is Butler. A scramble for the loose ball on the deck, digging it out, Osaboyan, but it ends up with Butler.
Got to recognize that shot clock. Did not reset.
Down to 5. Davion Mitchell, one-on-one. There's the step back, and there's the three.
And it's hard to believe that a big guy who averages 1.8 points a game could have a 2-to-1 assist turnover ratio. But in addition to the charges and the deflections, he's a great passer out there.
Seven to shoot. Over the top of Mc.
Can we keep it going?
Nearly perfect today for Taz Sherman. Only 2 misses and 25 points. Butler gets to the rim. Plus the Baylor and West Virginia, they have been arguably the 2 best teams in this league all season. And they're playing like it. 1 minute to go in overtime. Taking his man.
Boys with an overtime victory over the Sooners. Cade Cunningham only had 40 in that game, and this is up to the minute projections from Joey Brackets with 7 Big 12 teams all appearing to be comfortably in the field. Oklahoma State moved up from an 8 at the start of the day to you go to Ann Arbor and pick up a win. That's going to help your case.
No question. And I think you may be looking at a scenario where it could be Illinois or Ohio State for that 4th number 1 overall or number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament in the bubble in Indianapolis. And finally a second chance opportunity for Baylor. Baylor has been crushed on the glass by Kansas. It's really been remarkable, and that might be 3-point field goal made games.
39% from beyond the arc on the season, second in the Big 12 in made threes per game.
Little floppy set for Davion Mitchell, but Jalen Wilson right there on the catch.
Yeah, but then
they have taken West Virginia to the limit. Oklahoma as well. They have not broken through yet. They have a chance to do that here tonight. Jackson off the mark for the Cyclones. Iowa State's now 1 of their last 8 from 3. Butler guides it in for Baylor. Coleman lands now with 8. Tough shooting night for him. 4 of 11. But the lead back to 4.
That's all the Davion and Jared do the same thing. They both play out that hesitation right there. They'll get
good turnover that they force right there. They get the open look for the 3, and Coleman knocks it down. What a nice little comeback right here. Nice little comeback. They were down 11, as you said, Boo.
A 7-0 run.
I remember this.
8 seconds of difference, game clock to shot clock.
3 fouls. 3 fouls on Butler could be big in the second half of this game.
Mitchell got it. Oh, and
could go down and really, really hurt his teams. Right there. Play like that could be detrimental big time. baby. Gets past some out. Ships them to Lakewood Ranch. Where are you right now, Luke?
I'm in New York City. I love you.
Snowstorm.
Yeah, I'm in the snow and I need taco. This body needs tacos.
Yes,
Mitchell going to work. The bigger Sims on him. Step back. Got it.
I know. He said the same thing with Saints. He said the same thing with the Packers. I love it that he says that because that gives me another shot that we're going to win. Here it is. What a great performance by Baylor in the second half. Texas certainly came out strong to start the second half, but Baylor showed why they're right now. Gonzaga and Baylor in another league right now in college basketball. And you got some good teams behind them, the Michigans, the Villanovas. But these two teams are just head and shoulder better. But the beauty of
Amy buries one right there, and it's a 10-10 game.
I don't want to take anything away from Oklahoma. I think Lon Kruger has done an amazing job with that team. But when they played in that game and you did the game, they played without three key players. Sims didn't play, Ramey didn't play, and Cunningham.
Pack a closeout.
Lothamba had a great first half for Baylor. 3 for 3, 7 points, 4 rebounds. Nice combination. Thamba and Chamwa Chachua sharing time in the middle. Butler. Why not? What a night for one of the best.
Awesome.
He is beloved within the program and by the fan base for the energy on the bench, the energy on the court, the selflessness.
You can see why. You don't have to give him the ball. He goes and gets it anyway.
And as inexperienced as he is, relatively speaking, really having only played for 5 years, maybe just scratching the surface, Jay?
Yeah.
Teague.
It's his fakes.
I give a shout out to, what about Pat Kelsey and Coach DeVries? People say, who are they? Kelsey's the coach of Winthrop. They're undefeated, got a great program down there. And Coach DeVries out there with that Drake team, they were hit with a little pause because of, oh my. He showed his versatility. Made the three, he drove the basketball. He looked like you, Bob. I saw you go to the basket one time.
One time, maybe. Fade away.
One of mine, man. That was Brick City, USA, baby. That was Brick City, USA. Wow. Question is, will Baylor leave here undefeated? Remember Michigan, we only got 4 now. Michigan lost today. Tough to go to any double teams here against them because you go to double teams, don't find the open guy. Biggest shot of the game so far has been Flyers through. Coming off the bench, Trey Moss three.
So you can be a great shooting team and still be defending.
Nembhard missing the front end of the 1-and-1. Baylor today just 1 for 10 from three-point range.
In that game, the other thing too, Rich, for shooters, you come off the game that he had the other day against West Virginia, going for 29, 8 threes in that game. There is a letdown. The psychology of sport is undefeated, and in particular shooters. You have a game like he had, there is going to be a letdown.
Have watched their number 2 Baylor Bears dominate Oklahoma from the opening tip. They sprinted out to a 16-2 lead and really never looked back. Baylor up 72-57 now with under a minute and a half to go.
Well, you mentioned the start, Rich. Sometimes you lose these games early. And in this game, to get down 16-2 to this Baylor team, that was from the first minute of this game, that was going to be almost an insurmountable climb for Oklahoma.
Mitchell had it pinned by Fleck. They'll count.
Davion Mitchell and Jared Butler. Every time I've been at a Baylor shoot-around, when they're on the road, they both run in before everybody else does. Mitchell goes and grabs the ball and hits the first shot. They have a ton of energy. Love playing together. Davion Mitchell he's an animal. Nice shot from MaCio Teague.
His Iowa State career.
2:30 to play, and the Cyclones trail the number 2 team by now 3 after Mitchell. shots missed. He really didn't even look at the hoop. He kind of was in his shot motion before he knew where he was. Teague driving on him and finish.
That's a beautiful left.
The Bears trying to do that, well on their way to doing that for an 8th consecutive game today. Over 80 points. Shows the firepower this team has. Scoring really from every position on the floor. Got the defense to match it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that makes Baylor such a good basketball team is not only are they that talented offensively, but they're in the tournament, in the long run, because you have 8 guys who can go off for, well, I'm not going to say 8, but you have a plethora of guys who can go off for 20 or go off for 30 every night. And you see Davion Mitchell, who is one of those guys.
And no third opportunity. McGurl ahead, looking for Miguel, but there to pick that off is Mitchell.
Yeah, those are the type of things that can happen for Kansas State today. Careless turnovers. Baylor's going to be tough to score against as it is, but those ones that aren't necessarily forced by the things that they do, carelessness on your part, you got to minimize those in a big way here this afternoon.
Shot clock down to 5. Step back. Teague from the corner. Good.
The JUCO transfer struggled early in practices with the demands at this level. Obviously, Coach Weber has high expectations at both ends of the floor. And after enough practice time, he's settled in, and he's been really good in games.
Nice move there by
in the corner by Butler, but eventually the Illini recover, and they will take the lead.
Last 2 buckets have essentially come off broken plays where Baylor's played great defense. Just hadn't finished the possession.
Well, a really small lineup in there for Baylor right now, with the vital in as the 5-man along with 4 perimeter players.
They might be small, but man, they can play low. Yeah. Bello, not sure. Should he pick up Thamba? Exactly what should happen. Just not enough talk.
And an offensive rebound on the missed free throw by Davion Mitchell. Got a mismatch with a big fella, Bajanishvili on him. Step back 3. Got it! Answer.
And one of the founding members of the Bald Brotherhood, who
yes.
would never leave the Brotherhood like Shaka Smart did. Very disappointing that Shaka would go from the clean-shaven look.
You know, bit by bit, I mean, we got Coach Greenberg, we got the Fonz now, Dockich has come over to the dark side. We got a lot going for us right now.
That was a big get for us to get Dockich to stop swirling that stuff around and come with us.
Butler with a handle and a baseline drop.
Defenses don't have to help much because they contain the ball. And these guys, they take away transition. They get back 5-as-1. Communicate really well, and they limit you to 1 shot.
Shot clock at 5. Mitchell for 3. The exclamation.
Turning around, it's Duguay. He wanted a foul, thought he was fouled. No foul. Side Butler. 2-man game. Teague backing it out. Here's Cryer. Cryer crossover, gets his man loose, shake and bake, drills.